This is what is known as reality. The truth is, reality exists in an infinite expanse of permutations. Come explore another reality. The year is 2024. Mike Myers at home in Park Ridge, Illinois, thinking about Winona Ryder. He had just seen Beetlejuice at the Pickwick Theater in Park Ridge, Illinois, and was truly impressed with it. He knows that his preordained and predestined lover is Winona Ryder, and he must find a way to meet her to fulfill his destiny. If he could travel back in time to the year 1984, he can contact Winona Ryder on an esoteric level. He's walking Park Ridge on a sunny day in June when he sees something quite extraordinary. There's a flickering, pulsating, multicolored essence right before him on the sidewalk on Cedar Avenue. Should he walk into it? He decides to walk into it. When he does so, he finds himself on the same street, but in the year 1984. Now that he's in the year 1984, he has a plan to contact Winona Ryder on an esoteric level. If he's hired as a projectionist at the Pickwick Theater, he knows a way to contact her through film. He goes to the Pickwick Theater and is interviewed by a woman named Claire. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Claire. Hi, Claire. I'm Mike. I'm looking to be hired as a new projectionist. You're hired. I'm hired? That was easy. I know a good projectionist when I see one. Don't worry, Claire. I won't disappoint you. I'm sure you won't. Let me show you the projection booth. Claire brings Mike to the projection booth. Wow, this is cool. A projection booth is one of those neat places in life. It's a place where an individual can find solitude, while at the same time presenting an audience with a movie. It's just you, a roll of film that may or may not contain cinematic gold, a room where you can find solace and let your mind wander, and an eager audience waiting in anticipation. Oh, hi, KJ. For what they hope is going to be a cinematic experience that they will remember for the rest of their lives. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Oh, okay. You see all of that? All I see is a room desperately in need of modernization. When do I start? Right now? Great. Claire leaves the room. There's a box of film reels on the floor. One of the films was Casablanca. Mike puts the film on the reel and decides to play it on the screen. In exact tandem with Mike's playing of the film in the Pickwick Theater, Winona Ryder is in her backyard in Petaluma, California, watching the film in her backyard with her family on a sheet that they set up as a screen in the backyard. What she sees is Mike Meyer in the projection booth in the Pickwick Theater. What Mike sees on the screen, that's what she sees on the sheet, that's, the projection. What Mike sees on the screen at the Pickwick Theater is Winona Ryder in her backyard in Petaluma, California. This is a chance for Mike to fulfill his destiny. He must now find a way to enter the film itself. He shuts off the movie and leaves. He had a wonderful evening. Meanwhile, Winona Ryder and her family had been observing Mike in the projection booth instead of Casablanca. So when they set up the film projector in their backyard in Petaluma, California, what they actually thought they were going to see was the movie Casablanca. But what they actually saw was me in the projection booth in the Pickwick Theater in Park Ridge, Illinois. And I was like working as a projectionist in the projection booth up there. And when I put on the film reel for Casablanca, what I thought I was going to see was Casablanca too. I mean Casablanca, not Casablanca itself too. And what I actually see is Winona Ryder and her family, who are also. So it's kind of like we're both seeing each other. Did you watch that reel before, Michael? Yes, I did. I swear it was the film Casablanca. I watched it too. It was Casablanca. Why don't you put it on again? Sure. Michael puts the film on again, and sure enough, they find that they are watching, with the film that they are watching is Casablanca. Wow! Just as I thought. I'm going to try to do Winona Ryder's voice. Okay. The movie you're watching is Casablanca. Maybe it's synchronicity. Synchronicity? Yes, synchronicity. A synchronous event is one that happens in the fulfillment of some future need. Future need? What future need? I don't know yet. Maybe this future need is something that can only be fulfilled by whoever that guy was in the projection booth. That's very insightful, Winona. You've been reading about synchronicity. I'm well aware of synchronicity and its applications to the world. I'm glad to see that our raising you as a free-spirited, free-thinking, free-associating, and free-interacting person has resulted in the development of a young lady with the capacity to not only engage in fully rational scientific inquiry and discourse, but also the ability to see higher order realities that are beyond the rationalization that require acutely developed peripheral senses to see and know of. That's exactly it. Now we just need to figure out who that guy is and where he's from. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Do you have any ideas on how to figure out who he is? If he appeared, I never heard said. Wait, I think I actually did see her, Winona Ryder's mom. She actually appears in the movie. She makes an appearance, kind of a cameo appearance in the movie, The Darwin Awards, which is a hilarious movie. And her mom was like sitting in a booth or something, and she was, yeah. So okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. If he appears again, if he appears on the reel again, we can start with clues about the room he is in to try to ascertain where he is. We're going to have to examine it very closely. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Let's just enjoy the rest of the evening. Sure. They had a wonderful evening. Mike goes to the Pickwick Theater the following evening at 7 p.m. For a 7 p.m. showing of Casablanca, while at 5 p.m. Pacific time, Winona and her family are planning to watch Casablanca. 5 p.m. Pacific time arrives in tandem with 7 p.m. Central time, and Casablanca starts. Again, it is not Casablanca that appears either at the Pickwick Theater or in their backyard, but images of each other. Mike sees Michael, Winona, and Cynthia in their backyard on the screen at the Pickwick Theater, and they see him in the projection booth. Now was our chance to see if we could see anything in the projection booth that would provide any clue as to where he is. Do you see anything, Cynthia? No, do you? Wait a minute. I do see something. Do you see the green velvet blazer that Mike is wearing? Yes, I see it. What about it? That's my blazer. It is? How do you know? Because it's the only one of its kind in the world. Do you see this purple satin lapels on the blazer? Yeah. That's the only green velvet blazer with purple satin lapels in the world. Why is he wearing it? Let me answer that question by explaining something. Many years ago, I was in Illinois roaming around the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I was wearing the blazer, decided to take it off and have it gift wrapped. I took it to a random house on the northwest side of Chicago and placed it on somebody's front porch. I thought that whoever got it would be gifted with something unique and special that they could cherish. That could be the guy who got it. That's a pretty good clue. So maybe he's in a movie theater, either on the northwest side of Chicago or the Chicago northwest suburbs. Do you want to take a road trip there to see if we could find him? Sure. They continued to talk about the situation. They had a wonderful evening. Michael, Winona, and Cynthia got in their car the next morning. A 1974 green Pinto to take a road trip on Route 66 to see if they could find the person who claimed the blazer, or sport coat, as you may want to refer to it as. That's really intriguing that the guy in the projection booth was wearing the blazer that you left in a gift wrap box on somebody's porch. I just had this undeniable urge to gift somebody with that blazer. It was as if I felt as though my gifting the blazer to somebody random would not indeed be a random gifting of the blazer, but a gifting of the blazer that would result in a synchronicity of events, the fulfillment of which would be a serendipitous meeting. If the New Age and mystical concepts that you write about are in some ways plausible, maybe you're onto something. Yeah. The green Pinto continued to cruise the iconic Route 66 while the Horowitz family continued to talk. As they were talking, something obviously quite unexplained happened. Morning turned to night in a split second. They found themselves hovering above a roadside diner in the Pinto. They looked down at the diner, and it seemed to be occupied by people who spoke a strange language that none of them were familiar with. There was also some kind of transcendent music playing at an extremely loud volume inside of it. The car doors were thrown wide open by some force as Winona, Michael, and Cynthia floated out of the car and didn't fall to the ground, but descended to it slowly as if by some unseen force. When they landed, they looked into the diner and saw some of the weirdest looking beings in there, obviously from another planet, and heard some of the most otherworldly, postmodern, avant-garde, bizarre, innovative, transcendent, inventive, and intriguing music they had ever heard that was composed of an arrangement of sounds that have never been heard on planet Earth and must have been cultivated from another planet. It was the most beautiful thing any of them had ever heard. What they saw when they looked inside was both hopeful and disturbing. The aliens were placing human beings from planet Earth into translucent pods. The people trapped in these pods had surprised looks on their faces, and in a state of suspended animation, the aliens have access to forces, both physical and metaphysical, that enable them to interrupt a person's life temporarily. Michael and Cynthia, in a state of puzzlement, began to discuss the situation. This is very intriguing. I wonder why the aliens have these people trapped in pods in a state. I know. Of suspended animation. I don't know. Do you have the courage to walk in there? Let's go for it. They walked in there. The aliens abruptly stopped what they were doing and simultaneously looked at them through almond-shaped black eyes with hypnotizing stares. One of them came and began speaking. I am Kando from planet Jordan Q. What brings you here? Hi, Kando. You know, it's amazing that you, an alien from planet Jordan Q, is able to speak English. All of the inhabitants of my planet are born with an encyclopedic knowledge of the languages, customs, traditions, and religions of the people on planet Earth. So what brings you here? We were on our way to the Chicago area to try to find a guy in a projection booth at a movie theater who may have a serendipitous connection to us. There's more to it than that, if you want to hear it. No, I get the point. Okay, let me explain. These people trapped in the pods work at novelty gift shops in Area 51. We trapped them to bring back to our planet. For what reason do you want to bring people that work at gift shops in Area 51 back to your planet? You'll have to figure that out. What do they sell there? Alien stuff. Alien figurines. Alien dolls. Pictures of alien abductions. Alien costumes. Alien pinball machines. Alien hoodies. Alien movies. alien towels, alien beach towels, alien masks. Say no more, Cando. Michael and Cynthia ran back out of their Pinto and drove off. As they were driving off in the Pinto, they saw something very unusual on the side of the road. It was a guy in a green and purple blazer having a showdown with some aliens at the side of the road. It looked like the green and purple blazer that Michael had left on a random porch in the Chicago suburbs years ago. As a matter of fact, he was almost sure it was. Look at those aliens having a showdown with a guy in the blazer. That looks exactly like the blazer that I bequested to somebody in the suburbs of Chicago years ago. I wonder if that's the guy in the projection booth. It sure could be. Mike and the aliens were giving each other mesmerizing stares. The fight that they were having was strictly fought with powers of the mental and supernatural. They could communicate with each other through gamma rays and suspend each other in precarious positions through telekinesis. Mike had the alien suspended several feet above the ground. Michael walks up to them. Hello, my name is Michael Horowitz. This is my wife, Cynthia. I couldn't help but notice your blazer. It's green velvet with purple satin lapels, the only one of its kind in the world. This jacket? Yeah, I found it on my front porch years ago. It's more than an ordinary blazer. When I wear it, not only do I feel a transcendent love for Winona Ryder that places my soul on a plane of existence where spiritual pleasures can be felt that are so acute they can only be experienced by souls of predestined love, but have supernatural powers. Wow. I think it's time to meet your daughter. Yes, it is. Let's go. Mike gets into Michael and Cynthia's car on Route 66 on their way west to Petaluma, California. I love this jacket. When I found it on my doorstep years ago, I found it quite beautiful, and when I tried it on, I could feel my enhanced supernatural powers. Yeah, it's quite a jacket. I'm so excited to meet your daughter, Mr. and Mrs. Horowitz. By the way, I've read in a biography about Winona Ryder that you are both writers. Yes, I'd like to read some. That's correct. Yes, I'd like to read some of your books. I'm attracted to any literature that explores the life of the human mind in higher order levels of consciousness that transcend the type of consciousness that people are in everyday life. Trying to find meaning in life transcends possibilities. The search for the divine, not so much in the form of a god or a goddess, but a transformative power that generates the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, and the search for a love so profound that the consummation of which confers immortality. To both lovers are my biggest pursuits. So yeah, I'd love to read your books. That's nice, Mike. Your daughter is a beauty. I fell in love with her watching Heathers. There's something I can see in her eyes that fulfills my mortal desires, and seeds my. Okay, there's something I can see in her eyes that fulfills my mortal desires and seeds my desire for immortality. I want to live immortally on a plane of pure pleasures and transcendent beauty with your daughter. These pleasures that I speak of can't be felt here in concrete reality, and these beauties that I speak of can't be seen anywhere in concrete reality. Wow, it sounds like you really love our daughter. That's an understatement, Miss Horowitz. Would you guys like to stop for roadside tacos there at Maria's Roadside Tacos? Sure. Mike, Michael, and Cynthia pulled into the parking lot of Maria's Roadside Tacos. They looked inside. It was all aliens. It's all aliens in there. Let's go somewhere else. I've seen enough aliens for a while. Wait a minute. I hope there's not some alien plan drawn up by aliens from another planet to take over planet Earth. Yeah, let's hope not. Let's find some other place. They drove off and had a wonderful afternoon. All right, thanks for joining me on this live stream. In a few minutes, I'm actually going to do another live stream that's going to for my Heather's script. Thanks for joining me. Bye.